Hello, I'm CJ Werleman, and in this episode we show how the religion of Islam has staged a stunning comeback in the European nation of Spain. But first, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our page. Now let's get into it. During the Islamic month of Ramadan, we witnessed more heartache in Gaza, but small miracles elsewhere. We saw Americans convert to Islam after being inspired by the courage and tenacity of the Palestinian people, and we counted many instances of Israeli Jews renouncing Judaism and accepting Islam since October 7th. But today we learnt something that's arguably even more astonishing, that a new survey has found that the Muslim population in Spain has nearly tripled during the past decade, rising from 1 million in 2010 to 2.5 million this year, now accounting for 5.3% of the total Spanish population, a number that is surging upwards exponentially. And while immigration is partly responsible for this dramatic growth, what really stands out here is the growing number of converts among Spanish nationals, with this report finding that converts from Christianity to Islam have increased by a factor of 10 during the past 3 decades. In the Spanish language, Muslim converts are known as conversos. So what does all of this mean? It means Islam is returning home to Spain, remembering that the European country lived and prospered under Islamic rule for 800 years. That is until the Spanish city of Granada fell to the Christian armies in the year 1492. But it's here in Granada that Islam is again flourishing and thriving. It's not only home to 36,000 Muslims, including 4,000 converts, but also home to some of the world's most beautiful streets, parks, buildings, and monuments. Because it's here where the influence of Islamic art on European architecture is most profound. The city is characterized by intricate geometric patterns, stunning arches, and delicate ornamentation. Its Muslim rulers seamlessly integrated nature with architecture, creating a tranquil and enchanting atmosphere.
Granada fue el último reino musulmán de la península ibérica. Tras 8 siglos forjando una cultura única, Al-Ándalus dejó una huella imborrable en el tiempo. La esencia artística del legado nazarí es reconocible en cada rincón de la ciudad, siendo uno de los lugares más especiales del mundo. Granada susurra y anhela una espiritualidad perdida, arrebatada y olvidada, que poco a poco vuelve a resurgir.
And I guarantee every non-Muslim this, that if you spend just one day in Granada, then you will soon learn how every anti-Muslim trope and stereotype parroted in the media is a bold-faced lie, because the history of this city speaks not only to the history and beauty of Islam on the Iberian Peninsula, but also the rest of the European continent. You see, under Islamic rule, Spain was known as the center of learning, art, architecture, multiculturalism, and religious tolerance, with non-Muslims, including Christians and Jews, treated as equal citizens with equal religious rights.
Llegaron a convivir de una manera que hoy el arabista Jacques Beck, que era una de las mejores convivencias que hubo en Europa, era Al-Ándalus. Había un respeto en el sentido que tú podías tener derecho a ejercer tu culto y una sociedad que era musulmana pero que aceptaba al cristiano, al judío.
This peaceful coexistence came to a thunderous halt in 1492, however, when the Christian kingdoms of Europe murdered and pillaged their way through Spain before forcibly deporting and exiling the country's 4 million Muslim citizens to North Africa and the Middle East. From this moment, Spain instantly transformed itself into a tyrannical Christian state, and it began exporting its religion throughout its colonies in Asia and Africa and South America, where non-Christian peoples were forcibly converted to Catholicism or killed, an act of violence and coercion considered an anathema in Islam. But European school kids are not taught this history. Instead, they are told Islam was spread by the sword, when in fact the opposite is true. It was Christianity was spread down the barrel of a gun, proving once again that every false accusation against Islam is a confession of wrongdoing. Thankfully, the Spanish people are proud of their Islamic heritage, which helps explain why many Spanish Catholics are now converting to the Islamic faith, like these new conversos here, who came together in Granada to celebrate the start of Eid al-Fitr. Watch here as a convert explains why Islam has grown in popularity throughout Spain in recent years.
When people started to know about us, they started coming around, becoming a Muslim, and basically the community was settled by people who came from all over Spain to stay and live with us here, because we understood that Islam was not something that you can take and then go back home and go on living the same way that you were living. Then it grew, and it grew not only in our families, because we are already on the 4th generation, but also our commitment since the very beginning was to show Islam to the society. So it means we have a lot of shahadas.
Spain's growing Muslim population has also helped reorientate the country's politics towards the Palestinian people, and they have led some of the most awe-inspiring protests on the European continent during the past few months. And because of their efforts, the current government made history when it recognised Palestinian statehood for the first time in the country's history, while also holding Israel accountable for genocide. And Palestinians are always in the prayers of Spanish Muslims.
Protege a nuestros hijos, protege a nuestros nietos. Y Allah protege a todos los que están sufriendo ahora mismo en Palestina. Dale fuerza y darles un sitio especial en el jardín.
Sadly, the sudden growing popularity of Islam in Spain has caused a political backlash from the country's right-wing political parties, helping elevate the far-right Vox party from the fringes to the corridors of power in last year's general election. At the centre of Vox's political platform is a promise to wage a cultural war against Islam and Muslims. Its leader mischaracterises the growth of Islam in Spain as an Arab invasion.
Our religious and artistic heritage is being threatened by money from radical Islamic countries. But we didn't reconquer Spain for nothing.
His hateful lies are meant only to conceal Islam's undeniable appeal and the positive contributions Muslims have made to the country.
These people don't want to acknowledge the magnificent legacy that Islam has left here.
Now, another injustice facing Spanish Muslims is the government's move to grant citizenship to descendants of Sephardic Jews, who were expelled from Spain in 1492, a right the same government denied to the descendants of expelled Muslims, even though both sets of people were forcibly removed from the country at the same time and by the same forces. Clearly, Muslims should be entitled to the same rights and privileges as Jews, because both groups were expelled from Spain under similar historical circumstances. But no, here we go again, with one set of rules for Jews and another set for Muslims in Christian-dominated Europe. A Spanish journalist wrote that the decision to grant citizenship to the grandchildren of Spanish Jews in the 15th and 16th centuries, while ignoring the grandchildren of the Muslims, is without doubt flagrant segregation and unquestionable discrimination. The decision could also be considered by the international community to be a historic act of absolute immorality and injustice. The reason for this double standard is obvious. If Spain grants the same rights to Muslims as it does to Jews, then Spain would instantly become home to the largest Muslim population in the European Union, a move that constitutes the sum total of the Vox party's worst nightmare. Nevertheless, this historical wrong must be made right, and justice will eventually be realised because the Vox party does not represent the views of a majority of Spaniards, only the hateful attitudes of white Christian nationalists, who would learn a great deal about the country's history and heritage by visiting the Door of Forgiveness at the Grand Mosque in Seville.
So this is called the Door of Forgiveness. It's one of the main doors that remains towards the old mosque and the cathedral today of Seville. And as you can see here, it's one of the few places where you still see calligraphy original from the time of the Muslims. And the calligraphy, it says Al-Mulku Lillah, Al-Baqa Lillah, which basically means the kingdom belongs to Allah and continuity belongs to Allah, which is a very beautiful thing to say in the door to the old mosque of Seville.
Now, on behalf of everyone at the CJ Wellerman Show, we wish you and your loved ones a blessed Eid, and urge you to keep the Muslims of Spain in your prayers as they are confronted with rising anti-Muslim hatred due to the rising popularity of Islam in their country. But that's my time for today. please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we kindly ask that you please support our effort to expose and confront injustices in the Muslim world by becoming a member of this show at patreon.com/CJWerleman. We can't produce, sustain and grow this show without your help, and we offer exclusive benefits to those who do. But for now, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and stay blessed.